You're listening to IBNX. IBNXradio.com.
Topics. Top opinions presented in current sports.
Welcome to a 12th edition of Topics, Top Opinions presented in current sports. I am Tone Taylor.
And I'm Chris Harris. What's up, y'all? Y'all trying to kill me in here. My engineers almost blew my eardrums.
Turn it down a little bit. We're going to turn it down a little bit. But we bring you that raw, real, and respectable sports talk. Raw, uncut, and direct responses to
Topics.
Real, 100% authentic debates and rebuttals to
Topics.
And last but not least, respectable. You may like what we say or you may not, but you will
Respect it.
Now,
Yo.
we ain't turn that down a little bit? We're going to turn it down a little bit?
Please. That's better.
All right, cool.
All right, cool.
Let's get to it. So, we're going to start this right off, and we're going to start it off right. And we're going to pay homage. And we're going to give a round of applause.
You just learned that word?
Huh?
You just learned that word.
Nah, because I always pay homage to Kobe. But it's not about him. See, I want to get straight to the point. We're going to pay homage to one of the greats, LeBron James. One of the greats. I give it to you. 30,000 points, 8,000 rebounds, and 8,000 assists.
No one else has ever done it, right?
No one has ever done this. This is amazing. How was he able to do this in year 15?
I think a lot of it has to do with, fortune in terms of never being injured.
Absolutely.
And I think he deserves some of the credit because you still got to work out like you're in year one and still push your body as you get older. The older you get, the harder it is to stay.
Push it even more.
Yeah, you got to push yourself even more. So, it might not be as documented as Kobe's summer regimen, and I'm not comparing Kobe's summer regimen because I don't think anybody has ever had a summer regimen compared to that man.
Insane.
But I think that his hard work has a lot to do with it, and the fact that he's never been injured, and a lot of people say that, he takes plays off, he takes periods off. He's had, in the last couple of years, especially this final run, he's had months where he never had to really overexert himself, so he never had to play, I feel like he's never had to play 82 games and, really play 82 games, where they're going to be the 1 seed, they're going to be a top 3 seed anyway, so even if you fumble between January and March, by April, even the worst year, 2nd or 3rd seed, you still got some extra, you got some gas in the tank. A lot of guys like those, right after Shaq left, those Kobe teams, Kobe did everything in his physical power to make sure that the Lakers was still pretty good because he didn't have the talent around him. So a lot of it is also a test to having guys like Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade to kind of, you could kind of throw it in cruise control for a little bit. Every night doesn't have to be your night. And over time, Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love, those guys like that they benefit because some nights it might be Kyrie night. Some night it might be Kevin Love night, And I probably, Cleveland was winning games where they was, 17 straight and stuff like that. Miami, before the Warriors broke that record, Miami was on a record. They was on a pace to break the record for most consecutive wins, So he's had talent around him, so he's never really had to overexert himself. So I think that's what it really boils down to is just all of that. And the man works hard, and he's never been injured.
I totally agree with basically of your outlook on it. I see it. He does push himself to the limit. He's a specimen. He takes care of his body almost like Tom Brady. Tom Brady's 40 years old, playing at a high level in the league for all these years. So I attribute to, yes, they have a great diet. They take care of themselves. They know
excellent diet.
They know once you get older, it's different things you have to do. You can't do the same things you did as you were younger. But yes, I test that to their regimen, their workout daily. They eat right. You can just tell someone that takes care of their body and take pride in that. So I think those are one of the things that I attribute to that, as well as luck, not being hurt, like you said, avoiding injury. It was a point in time I think I asked myself, does he even get a splinter? Like
The worst thing that has ever happened in
Sprained
his
ankle?
career was the cramps. That was the worst thing that's happened to him.
that really, you know,
That's kind of the only thing that you could document that was negative in terms of physical output on him was.
and it's like he twists his ankle in a game, and it's like he's like, all right, I'm good. He may sit out depending on who they play next game. He'll sit out. If not, if it's a good game and he wants to play or he needs to play, he plays. So I attest that to him not getting injured, and basically, from his first couple years in the league, once he went to Miami, he put himself in a situation where everything does not fall on his own shoulders. Like you said, he went to Miami, he had D. Wade, he had Chris Bosh. So it was a night in and night out basis that he didn't carry the load. He was the leader of the team. He led the team, but he didn't carry the load day in and day out. Offensive load, no. You had scorers around you. Defensive mode, no. You have players that play defense. Just like, yeah, he guarded D. Rose, but understand he guarded D. Rose in the second and fourth quarter. You had Chalmers out there wearing D. Rose down. You know what I'm saying? So I test all of that to him being able to take care of himself, being lucky, not getting hurt. And on top of that, put himself in a situation where he doesn't have to exert his energy day in and now he's getting older. So now he's definitely looking at situations like, okay, I need to be put in a situation. Yeah, made sure he went. When he went back to Cleveland, I need somebody there. All right, Kyrie, scoring load. Bring K. Love in, another scorer. So he's very intelligent. He's very smart. He plays his position and he does it correctly. He uses his power.
What
he
power
uses
is
power.
that?
The LeBron James power. Let's not act like LeBron James does not have power. All right.
Okay, I just wanted to ask what power. I mean, like you said, man. I think he learns from other people. Like he's had like Ray Allen. I remember when Ray Allen was at the tail end of his career. He went to Miami. I remember during the season, Ray Allen didn't eat meat, and he didn't any sugar. He didn't put any sugar in his body.
Mm-hmm.
So for that whole season, he wouldn't eat no meat. So he was straight vegetarian, no dairy, and no sugar. And that was his diet. Mm-hmm. Just because he felt older, whatever he ate, he felt he put on, and it was harder to get rid of it. So I think like that was that summer with the first Hoodie Melo that came out, and Melo lost all that pound.
Yeah,
him, Dwayne Wade, and Melo all did that diet together. Mm-hmm. So I think like you said, I think it's just an attest to it's a lot, and I think that's what it is, and the fact that he's never been hurt.
Yes, and also throw into the fact that we say it's year 15, but he came in at 18.
So did a lot of guys, though.
But he's not the average. The person that did 2 years in college, 3 years in college, 4 years in college, they would be 36, 37 right now. You understand what I'm saying? So he came in at a young age. Kobe I don't want to compare, but Kobe in year 15, 16, he was averaging 27, 5 and 5. He got hurt.
And then he got hurt. No,
understand?
I agree with you.
So
I agree with you, but even the guys, like you could look at the guys who came in the league at 19, like Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony only did 1 year of college, and he's not the same Melo that he is in year 15.
But he's had injuries. Melo has injuries. He's sat out majority of seasons before.
True, you're absolutely right.
You're
right. You're right. So I think it's them two, like them dudes. Just they never got hurt.
Absolutely. So, after a recent loss to the Spurs, LeBron complained. So now we're going to look at the other aspect of LeBron now.
Because we can never just look at one aspect.
No, I wouldn't say that, but there's multiple sides to LeBron.
It's only there's
you
only multiple sides to that one person. It's never
and he's the face of the league, right?
Okay. No, Kevin Durant is, right?
Is he? Huh?
Kevin Durant.
Listen. We're going to talk about LeBron. He's the face of the league.
Don't ask me rhetorical questions. I hate when you do that.
Because it's not a rhetorical question, not for me.
All right.
He's the face of the league.
Okay.
Thank you. So now he's recently gone to the media. Well, I wouldn't say gone to the media. He's complaining about him being officiated differently than everybody else in the league. Almost like the Shaq Factor. Him getting fouled and they're not calling it. What do you take on that? Do you agree?
I mean, I think he does get fouled a lot. But he also travels a lot.
Oh, yes, the truth.
He travels. Like, every time I watch him
Speak
on
on
break,
it.
like, he travels.
Absolutely.
Like he travels a lot. So you know, like you feel like you got to give a little to like, you know, you got to take a little to give a little. Like, you know, like I don't know, like yes, he does get fouled. Yes, like it's not fair sometimes because people don't really expect, because it's like, yo, he's such a physical specimen that it might be a foul. Technically, by rule, it's a foul, but it doesn't really affect him as much as it would affect somebody else. So I think that's what he's more saying. Like, it's still a foul. If you're going to call it, call it. Call it the way it should be called. And then, you know, at refereeing, I've tried refereeing, and refereeing is one of the hardest things to do.
It is.
So, because it's all about perception. And then you're taught as a referee, dude, you're not supposed to call everything because there's a certain flow of the game that as referees you want to control. You want to keep, you know, consistent. So if there's a flow of the game, that's why, like, when people say, oh, you got to punch first, so let's come out and be physical. And, like, you see if a team starts physical in the first quarter, they really won't get those. That's consistency set. But if you weren't physical in the first half and then you become out physical in the second half and you start getting calls, you see why? Because you didn't set the tone. So the game flow, you're messing up the game flow. So, you know, like, technically, people get fouled 95% of the time in the NBA. Technically.
Okay.
But there's a certain game flow, like, at this point, it's like, come on, man. You can't get every foul. Because then, at this point, everybody is foul out. Because everything is a foul. Everything is a foul now. Or at least everybody complains that everything is a foul.
Everything is a foul.
They complain everything is a foul. You know, I think he just got, like, you got to know that with you being that physical and you that being that size, you have to know, like, all right, certain things I'm going to be able to get away with, but certain things I'm going to have negative. And the way it's hard to officiate LeBron James because I could technically, LeBron James won't score as many points because he would travel most of the time. He travels at least 5-6 times a game.
He does. And do you feel like he initiates a lot of contact as well?
I don't think he, like, when he initiate contact, yes. But I don't think he goes, like, looking for contact. Like, he doesn't look to draw the contact. Like, the master of drawing the contact, initiating the contact is James Harden, I think. Okay. I think James Harden goes out to look for the contact. LeBron doesn't really look for contact. Like, I'm looking to get fouled. He's just like, all right, you know what? I'm trying to. Only time I see him like initiate contact is when he knows he can convert the 3-point play.
Do you feel? And I look at this and I'm like, do I have a problem with him saying that he's officiated differently? No, I don't have a problem with it.
But you got at this point, you got to know, like,
there's a lot of things that you may do, like you said, the traveling. You don't get called for. A foul is a foul, yes. If it's a foul, call it. Just like with the whole Shaq thing. Yeah, he was bigger than everybody else, but if he gets fouled, he gets fouled. Call the foul. Ref is not going to be able to call everything. A ref is not going to be able to see everything. But a blatant foul, yes, call a blatant foul. But I feel a lot of times previously, well, not so much now because they try to get rid of it, the flopping. He was part of that whole era. Him, Chris Paul, they would flop every time they get bumped and all of that. So that played a factor of him not starting to get calls with that as well. But as a whole, no, I don't feel like I have an issue with him talking about it because I can say, yeah, definitely there is times that he does get fouled. He doesn't get the call. But a lot of times it's just enough is enough. Just play ball. Like, stop expecting to get fouled or initiating. Just go dunk it. Dunk the ball. Dunk it every time. Score. There's a lot of times he'll go and just do the little tricky left hand and miss and want the foul. Nah, you should have went stronger than that. What does your coach tell you all the time?
Play through contact.
Play through contact and go to the basket hard. Nobody gonna stay in front of you.
What I did take from which I agree with is that somebody like him only going to the free throw line 4 times a game, but you got somebody like James Harden who shoots between 15 and 19 free throws a game, and they attack the basket just as much. If anything, James Harden takes more jump shots than LeBron James in the game. So with that, I can understand it. You know, and with that point, when he made that point, I was like, okay, you got an argument there. You definitely have an argument there.
But how many uncontested layups and dunks does LeBron James get in a game? Everybody say he takes less jump shots, but he's getting fast breaks, dunks, fast break layups. So he's attacking the rim, but there's no defenders.
That's a great point.
So he's going to get a lot less attempts to the line. So that's how I look at it.
All right. So while we stay on the topic of LeBron James, you know, the whole destination.
This is a LeBron James block, huh?
Yeah. I need one. Jesus. Won't kill you. So we know you last week we talked about a couple weeks ago we talked about when Corey was here, we spoke about his destination 2 weeks ago. Philly, billboards, trying to court LeBron and complete the process.
Yes.
That's what they use to complete the process. So what's your take on? You think that's a likely, you think that's a serious destination for LeBron James?
We can rewind the tapes. I don't remember which week it was, maybe 3 weeks ago or whatever, when we were talking about possible destinations for LeBron. And I named Philly. I said Philly would be a good fit, along with, I said LA they might be a destination. I didn't like the Houston thing, and San Antonio. But the reason, I will reiterate this, the reason I like Philly, because LeBron James wants to be put in a situation where he could win now, right? Now, going to the West is going to be hard fought. Hard fought. Now, does it hurt his legacy to go to the West and not be able to get to the finals? Or you go to the East, you team up with a predominantly, it's going to be one of the best centers in the league, if not the best center in the league for the years to come. An up-and-coming young LeBron that you have in Ben Simmons. Now, we know for a fact that LeBron can team up with 4 different good players that are good role players at what they do and can take them to the finals. Now, you give them a legit big man and another scorer. You have shooters around you. They're going to go to the finals. So does it hurt you more to go to the West, not make to the finals, or go to Philly and make the finals for the next 3 to 4 years? And you possibly going to lose to whatever team is on the West, but you have a shot. But you're back there again, year in and year out. I would rather go to another team in the East and go to the finals. I mean, you're going to go to the West and not make it, you're definitely going to be, okay, yeah, he was just a product of the East. That's all he was. But what everybody's going to knock him saying, oh, he's lost. And I've said it before, he's lost 4 finals already. So he'll probably lose 3 more. But he's there. He's made it. How many people can say they've made it to the finals 9, 10 times in a row? No one.
That point I agree with. But him going to Philly,
why not?
I don't like it.
Why?
Because I feel like you just cancel out Ben Simmons.
You stop his growth.
You stop his growth because right now, at this point, Ben Simmons needs the ball in his hand to impact the game. Because, the whole thing with Ben Simmons is his ability to get the rebound and push it, like LeBron James. His ability to post smaller guys and pass out of that post, like LeBron. His ability to score in the mid-range, he needs the ball. If he doesn't have the ball in his hands, offensively, he's no good to you because he cannot shoot at all. Mm-hmm. And he's not he's not a great post player. He can back you down, make a quick move. But
that's an aspect of the game that can improve, and it's gotten better.
Yeah, it's gotten better, but I think, like you said, LeBron wants to go somewhere and win right away. Ben Simmons would have to – it's going to take Ben Simmons years to really – be offensively where he could get the ball and he can impact the game without having the ball in his hands 90% of the time. He's their primary ball handler right now. Mm-hmm. He's their primary ball. He's their point guard. So he has the ball in his hand as much as a point guard would. The same with LeBron James. So if you take him off, what are you going to do with Ben Simmons on the court? You're not going to spot him up in a corner.
No.
You're not going to post him. So where does he?
You can. Or you post LeBron. I look at it as, not to cut you off, I look at it as the best person to learn from would be LeBron James.
Yes.
So I don't feel it would be curving his growth in the aspect of he's going to learn more. Now, you look at the aspect of that was the reason why I felt he shouldn't go to Houston, because what good is Chris Paul going to be to you, an aging superstar, and then he's predominantly needs the ball. But now it can work between 2 because it's him and Harden. But now you add
the difference between Chris Paul and Ben Simmons is Chris Paul doesn't need as many minutes. So, with Chris Paul, you're showing Chris Paul is, all right, Chris Paul is just chilling on that first unit. When Harden goes out the game, that's when he has his stretches of moments.
Yeah, so if you add LeBron, then it's definitely going to even drop more.
But what I'm saying is, at this point, but then it goes back to LeBron not having to exert as much energy as we said a couple minutes ago. So therefore, LeBron can now chill and sit and allow guys to do them. Not every night has to be LeBron James. With that young team, every night I feel would still have to be LeBron James because
I don't think so.
I think so because those guys don't know how to win yet. Those guys have never been in position to win.
But that was the same thing when he went back to Cleveland. He was in that team did not know how to win.
That team didn't know how to win.
Exactly.
However, we talking about what, 5 years ago?
Yeah, but we talking about
4 years ago then?
4 years ago. Their first year. That would be their fourth time in the finals. But then you had a young killer, Kyrie. Kyrie was different. No, I hear you.
You see what I'm saying? You don't have those guys. You don't have those caliber guys. Like Ben Simmons is his own guy, but like right now, he's still offensively, he's still like his best days are to come. Same thing with Embiid. Like Embiid. Like Embiid would be perfect with LeBron, I think.
Perfect with LeBron, and you have shooters there. I just feel like
I don't think you have enough shooters. I don't
then
like
you
it.
can go get them.
You would have to.
Not a problem. Go get vet.
But I think
go
you
get
cancel
some
out
vet
Ben
shooter.
Simmons if you do it.
I don't think he would. I
really
do not think he would.
Kill out Ben Simmons.
Really?
I think so.
You really think so?
Yeah. I think so.
Wholeheartedly. So where do you feel he would go? Where do you think he should go?
I think he should just stay.
All right, that's a great option.
I think nothing else makes sense than you staying. Because at the end of the day, no matter where you go, you're joining. And the difference between Dwayne Wade and somebody else is Dwayne Wade is your boy. Dwayne Wade had already won. So Dwayne Wade wants to play with you. And in terms of our friendship, our brotherhood, this is bigger than basketball with us. So if we play, this only makes the brotherhood better. With other guys, you're joining up, and those other guys are kind of like, hold on, I'm kind of chasing you right now. So I really don't want to I'll play with you because you're going to help me win, but I'm not going to be as open as, oh, big bro. You know, oh, this is my bro.
I think he should go. I think if he's not staying, I think he should go to Philly. But
I think New Orleans would be a better look than Philly.
No, never.
Okay.
Nah, not at all. But we're gonna take a quick break. You're listening to the topics here on IBNX Radio.
You're listening to IBNX. IBNXradio.com. The station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music. Hey, what's up? It's Jay-Z.
Hey, I'm Mariah Carey. Hey, it's Katy Perry.
It's your boy T.I.P., man. Get in.
It's your boy Sean Kingston.
What's up, y'all? I'm Beyonce. This is Nicki Minaj, and I'm in the mix with
IBNX Radio.
Okay, you're listening to topics here on IBNX Radio. Top opinions presented in current sports.
So me, all right, this has been a interesting topic, you know.
Ongoing.
A lot of people been talking to me about this since when it first happened, you know, just because of the whole AAU thing and how I'm connected with AAU, but even I'm not. This whole FBI probing gets crazier and crazier. And I think that we've only seen, like, the tip of the iceberg. Like, we haven't even seen, because we're dealing with the federal government, and the federal government is undefeated. So what do you think? Like, what do you think is gonna? What does this mean for the NCAA with this whole FBI program? Because sooner or later they gotta look at the NCAA and be like, yo, where were you? What are you doing?
Listen, I look at it like this, and just being a former college athlete myself, the NCAA is getting exposed. They've been exploiting. It's tough for me to say exploiting, but they've been exploiting young college athletes for years. Years on years on years.
I'm talking about decades.
They're making, basically, the rules that people that don't know exactly, I mean, a majority of people know, but if you don't know, there's rules when you sign to play for a college team, NCAA. You know, you have to pass the clearinghouse and stuff like that, but there's rules that you have to abide by.
When you're on scholarship.
When you're on scholarship.
Scholarships, because Division III doesn't have scholarships. When
you have scholarship. When you're on scholarship. The main rule is you cannot accept anything. Mm-hmm. Not one thing to anything. Now, players that go to big-time schools, we're talking about the Power-6 conferences, even outside of the Power-6 conference, but let's just focus on those real quick. They make millions, sometimes billions of money.
Who, the school?
Schools. But the NCAA makes the majority of the money.
NCAA just cut a deal for $10.4 billion. $1 billion.
$1 billion.
It's 10.4.
Now we look at this. Now you tell these players, you can't accept any money, you can't accept any gifts from anyone. But they're looking at their coaches making $1.4 million.
Nah, a tweet came out earlier that Coach K make $8 million a year.
But I'm just saying, I'm just going on a lower scale. You're looking at coaches making millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
You see universities bringing in, going to the NCAA tournament, millions of dollars, billions of dollars. Football, going to bowl games. Millions of dollars are being transported, but they're on these players' backs. And you're telling me I can't accept anything. Now, a lot of these kids are coming from low-income homes. You know, the first time out of their neighborhoods. They're coming from nothing. So, yes, it's enticing, I can give you this, that, and the third. I know you're going to be there. I know you're going to make it, hold this. But if I get caught taking some money, if I could, survive some more, I get in trouble. The university gets in trouble. And now these coaches are getting in trouble for paying these players. So I just think it's punishing these kids is wrong. Is downright wrong. It doesn't make any sense. And the NCAA is getting exploited through this. What's your take?
I agree with you 100%, 100,000%. NCAA is criminal at this point. They're criminal,
Absolutely.
And it's time that you pay. It's time that you pay the guys. I had a cousin of mine. We were talking about it, and he said the school should set up an endowment for players. So every year that you complete college, if you're on scholarship, you get a certain amount endowment.
That's interesting.
That's interesting. So like say $15,000. Mm-hmm. So when you leave and you graduate, every year that you complete, you get $15,000 added on. So if you graduate, you're leaving college debt free with $60,000. And that's your way of your contribution to the university because you brought the school so much money. The least we can give you is $60,000. Now the hard part is justifying that because the problem with college sports is, and the thing I understand, but I still don't justify, but I understand is how do you justify paying a college football guy at Clemson the same that you would pay a college swimmer at Clemson?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say as well. Like, how do you justify these?
And I think it has to be. And I think it have levels. I think it can't have levels. I think it cannot have levels because it's still college, so it can't have. So I think everybody should be. You know why? Because the difference between there's a lot of difference in the money we bring in. Mm-hmm. But if you're a football player and I'm a swimmer, I still take the same amount of course loads you take. I still have to practice around the same amount of times you practice. I still have to compete at the same high level to stay on scholarship.
So does a 5-star recruit?
That doesn't change.
So should a 5-star recruit get the same as a 2-star recruit?
Yes.
You'll keep it all the same.
I would keep it all the same. I would keep it all the same because your contribution to the university isn't bigger than my contribution to the university.
But it could be. Why not?
Your individual contribution,
yes.
No. The sports contribution, yes. But that's just because what we glorify in America.
But that's also looking at the aspect of NBA contracts. And every player doesn't get paid the same.
Completely different.
Yes and no.
It's completely different because there's other things. Because when you're a professional, this is all you're doing. Mm-hmm. So my whole thing is, okay, cool. You might play football, but your GPA might be 2.7. Mm-hmm. But I might swim, and my GPA might be 4.0. So I'm also academic All-American as well. So that doesn't.
And then I think there should be incentives for that. I think there should be levels and incentives, and I like that.
And I think the amount of money that the stipends each athlete should get is predicated off your revenue through the school.
Absolutely, I like that. That's a very very good concept. We need to bring this up to some important people because that was very good. I cannot knock that. I've never heard that, but that is very good. Keeping on that same aspect. Jalen Rose comments, college players should boycott the NCAA tournament until they get paid. What are your thoughts?
Jalen Rose, shut
up. Why do you say that?
I understand what you're saying, where you guys got to, he's saying, you guys should take action. Absolutely. I think that's the wrong action, and he said it wrong. Boycott the NCAA tournament until you get paid. No, because at the end of the day, you're still a basketball player. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you haven't gotten paid. Yeah, you got exploited. But there's a part of you all would hope that wants to play still.
Of course. There's always going to the major part of you wants to play.
That should be it. Like, that should still be at the end of the day. Whether I get paid or not, I'm doing this because I love it, and I'm doing this because I love it. The experience outside of not getting paid has been great, and I'm going to go down. I might have a chance to go down in history for this. Like Jalen Rose, you guys got exploited too. They was making money off the Fab Five. Y'all
Absolutely.
ain't sit out. All y'all did was wear black T-shirts. Mm-hmm. Y'all didn't sit out. Y'all went to the Final Four.
But this is
Twice.
a little bit different.
It's not different. How is it different? Because why? Because it's how? It's the same amount of money.
No, I understand that, but what I'm saying is now it's a time comes in everything, every situation where action needs to be made. This may be a time where back then, but didn't their wins get vacated in their national championship?
They didn't make it. They Final Fours got.
Their Final Four got vacated.
Listen,
so,
but at the end of the day,
so they got.
You gotta make action, and I agree, right? But there's certain action at this point. People have already bought NCAA tournament tickets because the locations have already been released, and people have already bought Final Four tickets.
And all of that will have to get rescinded if
It
they
won't.
boycott. Why not?
You're not getting your money back. The NCAA is not
you know how
giving
many
that money back.
They will probably have no choice. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but I don't think each ticket says non-refundable. That's if I say. But if there's no national championship game, if there's no Final Four, if there's no NCAA tournament, it's no. But I'm not saying. I'm saying if it does, because you said they're not giving that money back. They're gonna have to give that money back, and they're gonna lose a lot of money. So I can't say that they're not. If there's no games, you have to give that money back. There's nothing predicated on you keeping that money.
Now, if you make the tickets non-refundable, listen.
All right, and then all I'm saying is there would be lawyers and fees, and it would be.
Let me tell you this, right? Right, the NCAA is criminal, right? And the coaches have found a way to manipulate the system, right? I love John Calipari because I've got to coach John Calipari's son in high school, so I got to see him outside of basketball. I got to see him as a father, so I'm a huge fan of him outside of basketball and in basketball, right? John gets a bonus. John gets 1.5 in bonuses if he wins the whole thing. Just alone. Outside of even his regular salary.
Okay.
So if he advanced every round, I think if he makes it to the Final Four, he gets an extra $1 million.
Okay.
I think his bonuses add up to something like 3.5 extra. So you mean to tell me that if I got a chance to go, I'm making 3.5. I get it. But my kids is playing. You're going to figure out a way to get these kids to play. And like John Calipari has done, is like, you know what? If I can't get you paid now, you do 1 year with me, because it's 1 year or it's really 6 months, and I'll get you paid on the back end.
Okay, now, I totally understand that. So, but also understand what he has backing him. He has Kentucky. He has the name, the mantra, the history. It's going to be a little bit more or a lot more difficult for a school, let's say in the Big Sky Conference, or, trying to recruit bigger names or big names without incentives. Like they may have, you may say, we playing a top tier schedule this year. A lot of times players ask, how many TV games do you have? These things matter. It's exposure. These kids are trying to go to the next level. So they may not have that mantra that Calipari walking into your living room, he can sit there and just sell you everything because it's the truth, because what he has backing him. So it's going to be a little different pitch. Then he might not have to give you $15,000.
And
I guarantee you're one and done.
And to go to your point about the Big Sky conferences, the schools that we're talking about are at-large bids. So they're going to make the tournament every year. Mm-hmm. A school like out of the Big Sky Conference who only gets an at-large bid if you win your conference, not that they don't have one dominant team. So this might be your year. If you're a senior, you missed the NCAA tournament 3 times. One of your goals at the school was to be like, I want to go to the NCAA tournament. Mind you haven't got paid the last 3 years. So now that everybody's making a big hoopla about it, you have a chance to make the NCAA tournament. You're not going to play? When this might be your last and only chance to have that experience to say, hey, I played in the NCAA tournament. That's where I think that's going to come into play more than these guys getting paid.
And it's funny that you said that. I was being combative with you before, just responding to what you're saying. But to note on what Jalen Rose was saying, I get it. I understand what he was saying.
I get what he was saying. You got to take action, but sitting out doesn't.
This would only really work for top tier recruits that know they're going to the league. They're gonna be,
fix the whole
lottery. You know they're gonna go first round. You know you're gonna get paid. You're looking at teams like you said it. Like you looking at players that's at Florida Gulf Coast, and you have Lehighs, and those mid majors to low majors that this is their shot to show the league and show the world that they can play against top tier recruits, and that's where it will hurt. So you have everybody sitting out now. There's players that's missing their shot. So I understand it, and for you to really make noise, it has to be a collective thing.
And I like Jalen Rose. I think Jalen Rose always goes against the grain, and Jalen Rose says some positive stuff. But that one, sit out, I'd have said, like, all right, let's sit out the whole year or something. Like, let's sit out the beginning of the school year, and then because your scholarship's still paid for,
Yeah, but, I mean, to really hit the NCAA, you would have to really boycott that tournament. So I get that, but.
I get it, but I think it doesn't fix the whole problem.
No, absolutely. Fix the whole problem. It hurts. So, piggybacking off this whole FBI probing, Sean Miller and Rick Pitino, should they be allowed to coach again?
Nah.
No?
Nah. You got caught, player.
It's over.
You got caught. Like, Rick was like, all right. Rick Pitino was bugging. Like Rick Pitino, if you didn't fire him at this point, Louisville is gonna be like, what are you doing? People forget Rick Pitino had 2 sexual harassment charges at We just talking about at Louisville.
2015.
He had one before that.
Oh yeah, and
2011. Or around that time. Then he had he had those before. 2015, remember he had the whole recruits with the prostitutes thing. Like, Rick, what are you doing? Rick, what are you doing? And now this, he can't coach. Again, I don't think a school takes another chance on him just because people, like, now that you've done one thing, like the biggest thing that you got canned for, now everything else is gonna come back for. Sean Miller, I'm kind of happy the way Sean Miller got caught. I'm happy because Sean Miller sat up there and lied. And he and the people who were key to his success, so to say, it's like you scratch my back, I scratch yours. I'm gonna bring you with me. If I'm your head coach, if I'm the head coach and you're the assistant, we've worked our way up from Xavier to Arizona, but you kind of worked your way in to get those players to help me get this better job, because you got to go out and recruit those guys. And the guys who helped him get to that point to be at Arizona. When things hit the fan, he really wasn't there and wasn't really backing those guys. He didn't back his guys. He was like, yo, I don't know nothing about it. I don't know. It ain't me, though. Instead of just being like, you know what, I know this guy personally. I've been coaching with him for the past 10 years. We've got to get to the bottom of this before I can make a decision. But I know this guy outside of basketball. I trust him, and I know that he's tried to done everything by the book. But for you to just throw your guys out there like that, I'm like, I don't know nothing. I'm happy you got caught. I'm happy now that karma. It's good for you, because a lot of assistant coaches, especially with certain color skin, are used as pawns in college basketball.
Absolutely.
So it's cool. Not cool, but it's kind of like, okay, maybe I'm not bugging for my thought process, and that these guys are pawns, and you guys just reap the benefits. So it's a little personal. Oh, well. It's a little personal. Oh, well. And Sean Miller was underachieving in Arizona anyway, so you might have done yourself a favor, because you was going to get fired anyway, because all them pros you turned out, you ain't make a Final Four yet.
That's true. They and now they lost Sharif O'Neal. He going to UCLA.
You might have did yourself a favor, Sean Miller. You don't know.
Listen, I'm going to speak on this, but let's take a quick break. When we come back, I'll speak more on that as well as other topics. You're listening to Topics here on IBNX Radio.
You're listening to IBNX. IBNXradio.com. The station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music. Hey, what's up? It's Jay-Z.
Hey, I'm Mariah Carey. Hey, it's Katy Perry.
It's your boy T.I.P., man. Get in.
It's your boy Sean Kingston.
What's up, y'all? I'm Beyonce. This is Nicki Minaj, and I'm in the mix with
IBNX Radio.
Yes, you're listening to Topics here on IBNX Radio. Just to give my outlook on this view, should Pitino coach again?
Or Miller.
Let me Miller, like you said, it's shaky because he didn't back his guys, so I understood with that. But my focus when I was really reading
Sean
this,
Miller got a better chance than Rick. Let me just say that.
and I'm gonna say, and I'm glad you say that. I feel Pitino should get another chance. He should. And the only reason I'm saying he should is because, and I do my research. Once upon a time, there was a Baylor coach named Dave Bliss. You know who Dave Bliss is?
Sounds familiar, but not really.
Dave Bliss committed a major rules violation. He tried to frame a murder victim as a drug dealer to avoid getting caught. And he got a job again. If he's able to get a job, Rick Pitino should get a shot in the dark.
Okay.
Now, with that being said, I don't think he will get a job. I don't think Rick Pitino will get a job. And I base it on one thing, the AD, Tom Jurich. He was arguably known as one of the best ADs in the country. Now, you said it before. In 2015, he had the prostitution thing. He stood by him. He didn't fire him. He stood by him. And this was serious. This is prostitution.
This was breaking news, bro.
Breaking news, prostitution. He stood by him. 2 years later, now you're being investigated for paying players. Now, this is a new allegation. 2 counts. So now it's a history. This precedes you now. Anywhere you go, this precedes you. Like you said, in 2011, he had another one.
He had 2 sexual harassment charges before.
2011, 2015. Now you have 2 counts of this reason right now, that the reason he got fired. Now you telling me as an AD, I have to hire you. I feel like I'm putting my job on the line.
I'm so glad you said that because I was gonna say, if you're the guy that hires Rick Pitino,
exactly,
just know that you're putting your job on the line.
I'm putting my job on that hire. Exactly. So I'm hiring you knowing this history. Now, give account that Pitino, none of these things have been, had his name on it directly. He wasn't charged. But he wasn't charged with any charges or anything like that. But you still have a history now. You have a trail. I don't see an AD putting their life and their career on the line to hire Pitino. He's 65 years old. I don't see it.
So the age ain't a thing.
It's not, but it's age with a history. So you know what? I can get a young guy in here, younger. Doesn't have that baggage. You have baggage. Pitino has baggage.
The problem is, right, the thing with this, and I'm going to just say this real quick, is I think that I don't think he'll get another job, not because of the ADs. I think because his track record on the positive side shows his worth. He's gone to Final Four with 3 different schools.
But
However, I don't think the school president will allow you as the AD to even interview this guy because as you see, even the presidents are like, you got to go too.
Absolutely.
The Michigan State thing. Like, you got to go, you got to go, you got to go.
Everybody got to go.
Everybody
got to go.
If I'm giving y'all $50 million to run this university, all y'all got to go. I'm not doing this. I can't. I need to do faces.
Yeah, absolutely correct.
So I agree. I think so. You think Sean Miller should coach again? He'll get a chance to coach again?
He'll probably get a
I think so.
He'll probably get a shot.
I think it'll blow up when he'll coach again.
But just speaking on coaches, we got Chris's coaching corner.
It is now time for Chris's coaching corner. We good? 2 take hold.
We
One
good.
take hold, man. Give me 3 weeks. Want to take home. Yeah, I figure out how to cut that part out. But I appreciate you guys so much. Chris's Coach Corner, real quick. Missed it the last 2 weeks. Bill Self.
Kansas.
University of Kansas. Mm-hmm. No, it's Kansas University. Excuse me. Kansas University. Mm-hmm. 14 straight regular season Big 12 titles. 14 straight. And that's Kansas. Because he got there
I didn't even know this. 14 straight?
Regular season titles? This is Kansas 14 straight. And he got there right after Deron Williams and them lost in the championship to North Carolina in 05. So he's been there 12 years. I want to say this is 12th season. He has a record of 440 and 84 at Kansas, right? You know what the funny part is, right?
Okay.
He has
I'm
more.
listening to this.
He has more regular season. He has more regular season Big 12 titles than he has home losses. He has 13 home losses.
Insane. That's insane. First and foremost, keep that same energy. Bill Self, keep that same energy.
7 Big 12 conference championships. And now the only thing that kind of hurts him, even though he's a Hall of Famer, is he only has two Final Fours, even though being that dominant. And he had the national championship in 2008 with the whole team, Mario Chalmers and all those guys. But listen, I got a chance to meet Bill Self at one time, and nicest dude on the planet, you know. And he's kind of implemented the high-low. Everybody hears, high-low. When you play with two bigs, high-low, high-low, high-low. He's kind of set that. He's kind of made that popular. I heard he was the inventor of it. I don't think he was the inventor of it. I haven't tried to dig in the archives that far back to see who else ran it. But he's kind of like the one who's kind of give people the blueprint as to how to play with two good bigs. Because he's always had two good bigs. You know, and that team, man, that team is a well-oiled machine. He gets guys, and when he does a good job is getting guys to buy in and stay.
Yep, true.
He produces a lot of 3-year, 4-year pros, and I think that's why the pros don't like Izzo, and I think that's why a lot of guys in Kansas don't really turn over in the NBA, because the NBA like, all right, you know, you've played in college so long that your window to change to the pros is now smaller. You know, and I think that's the problem when you stay with 3-4 years, because you played in college for 4 years, so now you have to change your game and however you played, and the whole game is different.
Absolutely.
So now you don't have those 3-4 years to get it back. So Bill Self, Chris's Coach Corner this week, phenomenal job what he's done at Kansas.
Congratulations. Let's give a round of applause for Bill Self.
Round of applause for Bill Self.
There you go. So let's jump into some NFL talk. The NFL loses their endorsement with Papa John's.
What was it, with like a sponsorship, partnership? What was it?
Whatever it was. But they gained Pizza Hut.
And they gained Pizza Hut. They did gain Pizza Hut. Like a day after.
The day after they gained Pizza Hut.
Now, why did they lose Papa John's? The reports was, what was the reports? You know the reports? The reports was that the player protesting hurt sales for Papa John's. You know, so they made the correlation that our sales are down because guys don't want to watch the NFL, which was true because their views were down 1.3 million. So
their views were definitely down.
That's 1.3 million people that don't order pizza. So our sales
so,
down.
So even though they had Peyton doing the commercials, they still wasn't getting it?
Listen here, bro. That's 1.3 million people that don't see Peyton.
Damn.
Because when you think of Papa John's, like, you know what? Like, Papa John, like, I like Papa John's. Some of my friends don't like Papa John's. I like Papa John's.
Papa John's, I like Pizza Hut better. But
I like
Pizza
Domino's
Hut
most. But that's neither here nor there.
When you come to the house, you eat Pizza Hut, though.
That's kind of your house. I ain't got no choice.
Keep that same energy.
I ain't got no choice. You going to feed me for free? I'm going to eat whatever you put on the plate.
But listen, Papa John's, if you looking for people to endorse, listen, T.O.P.I.C.S, we have no problem eating your pizza. You can call right on in. But no, sorry to cut you off.
Chipotle boneless wings, those is different. Those is different. You know. But yeah, man, I think that's crazy. Now, so let me ask you this, right? With that being said, do you think that there's going to be other partnerships that are going to back out for the NFL because of this?
On a serious note.
And how do you fix it?
On a serious note, yes, there will be certain, avenues, people that's endorsed, they're going to close. But the NFL is such a big market. Regardless of the fact if it's losing 1.2 million viewers, there still were 4.5 million viewers. You understand what I'm saying? So just like Pizza Hut was not getting that shine. So you've seen an avenue of, you know what? Papa John's backed out, but you know what? Even though they lost 1.4 viewers, I wasn't getting that 3.4 or 4.5 viewers that were watching that. So you know what? Let me get into that avenue. So you know what? And push come to shove, maybe down the road they may come back. Maybe the protests will end. So people that's directly correlated with people that's protesting, yeah, it's going to be a lot of backlash towards it. Again, there's going to be deals that cannot get done because of this, and I understand it. So yes, it's definitely going to be people that back out, companies that back out. It's just going to happen. It's just a trickling effect. Things like this happen, and as much as this thing will grow, it's going to be more and more people that will back out. So yes, I do feel that people's going to back out, but it's going to be people that's going to take that avenue to try to help them. So they're going to lose people, but they're going to gain people as well. Just like we've seen, one day they lose, the next day they gain.
I think I can't agree with you more. You know, I think like, and you made a valid point. Like, you know what, for a company like Pizza Hut, who wasn't really partnered with anybody, you know, they were just off their reputation,
their own entity.
They're like, yeah, that's 3.5 million views we get every Sunday
that we didn't get before
for 21 weeks or however long the football season is from start to finish. So and the specials they got in Pizza Hut is pretty good. So, it's not like it's bad. It ain't
it's good. It's
it
good.
Ain't microwavable pizza. So,
it's good. It's good.
Right. It might be microwavable.
It's good. You can eat it cold, too. It's good.
That's disgusting.
What? When it's pizza that you can eat cold, that means it's good. I'm not saying I'm telling you to eat the pizza cold. I'm just saying you might have a... Never mind. We ain't gonna talk about that.
No, I'm judging you right now.
You judging me?
I'm judging you.
First and foremost, that's all right.
I heard you, sister.
Okay.
I'm judging you.
I'm just letting you know.
All right.
But definitely on that note, let's keep it on this football topic.
Right. So, Des Bryant, Cowboys. You're Jerry Jones, right? Mm-hmm. What are you doing with Des Bryant?
Absolutely nothing.
Keeping Des Bryant, right?
Only thing I'm gonna do, call Des come into the office.
No, Des, come to the house. Don't come to the office. Come to the house.
You like my son.
Come to the house.
Come to the office. Come to the house. I'm gonna cook out. We gonna sit down. We gonna talk. I'm reassuring him. We're not trading you. We're not getting rid of you. We're not gonna lower your money. But what I need you to do, I need you to produce this year. You had a setback last year. Last couple years it's been shaky, but last year was a bad year. You had a bad year. We know this. You know it. I know it.
You're entitled to a bad year.
We know this.
Not entitled to, but all right, I'll give you a play for one.
You earned the money that we gave you. That year 3, 4, and 5, you did work. 6, 7, you listen. But you know what you need to do. You're a workhorse. You work in the offseason. You do what you need to do. I need you to come back and produce. I need our wide receiver core to be led by you. And the reason I'm saying this to him is because this. If I release him, who am I going to go get? Who is out there right now? Who is the number one receiver that's out there right now? I don't see it. Landry's good. I'm not taking anything away from him. He's good. He's had a good year, but his yards per average catch is 7 yards.
He's not Des Bryant.
Am I going to go out to go get that? He's younger. Does he have potential? Yes, but right now, I don't see it.
He's unproven.
Listen. Pro Bowler, yes. Have a good now.
And that's if you get him, because I feel like they're gonna franchise. They
probably franchise him. Now you go to Sammy Watkins, the Rams. The Rams are not gonna get rid of Sammy.
They just traded for Sammy.
They're not gonna get rid of him. So who is out there for me to get now? Should I go and tell Des, sit down, Des, like, look, I need you to take a pay cut. I need you to take a pay cut because you didn't really produce last year. But let's see if we could get somebody else in it. Now it's messing with his psyche. Now, understand, wide receivers are known to be the biggest divas in the NFL at the position. You know what I mean? At those positions, a position player. Sorry about that. Now you're messing with his psyche. He already came off a bad year. Now you're telling him you want him to take a pay cut. So either he says, no, I don't want to take a pay cut. You release him. Now you're sitting there needing someone to fill in, or he takes a pay cut. He's upset that he's taking a pay cut, and now he's not producing anyway. So what am I left with? Nothing. So I'm gonna tell him, listen, I need you to produce, hype him up. Listen, we need you. We want you. We want you here. Now, if he don't produce next year,
Now you got an issue. Now you got something to talk about. It's 3 years you didn't produce.
3 years, 4 years, you didn't produce. I could cut you. It's only gonna cost me $4 million. Jerry Jones, you win. So yeah, no, I'm not gonna do anything with him. I'm gonna talk to him. I'm gonna try to get in his psyche, and I'm gonna build him up. This is what I need you to do. I need you to produce this year. I need you and Dak to get on the same page. So that's what I would do. What about you?
Pay the man. I feel like with Des Bryant, I feel like Des Bryant needs to feel like not to say it like this, because I'm a fan of Des. I like Des Bryant a lot. You know, Des Bryant was Black Panther before Black Panther.
Throwing the X.
Throwing the X.
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever. That was Des Bryant first, honestly speaking, y'all. But however, I feel like Des Bryant is like he has like a big man syndrome. Like,
He's a diva.
Not even divas, like most big men, they're gentle giants. Like they need to be like coddled and he need his back rubbed. He needs some positive reinforcement.
He's
Daz,
a
it's
diva.
okay.
You try to sugarcoat it. He's a diva.
I think that's what it is. I think you got to kind of like, you know what? You still got Dak and Zeke. They're both in their second year, so you don't really got to pay them crazy. You know, because how long are they still in the contract for? You know, so I think you make Dez a priority now, get that out the way, and then you focus on Zeke and Dak. And then you try to keep those three guys together. And then because if you build those three guys, if you keep those three guys together, as you see, good things can happen more times than bad things will happen.
Yeah, they had a setback because it was, you know, what I mean.
And I think Zeke was a
Zeke
part
was
of
out.
that. Zeke
Yeah,
was a
'cause
part of
he's
that.
out.
You know what I'm saying?
They lost their left tackle. Yes,
because
absolutely.
you got to guard Dez, you got to guard Zeke, you got to plan for those guys. You know, when you can't favor one more than the other, and Dak is still good. So I think you keep those three guys together. So the first thing to keeping those three guys together is paying Dez Bryant. Then you got to pay Dez Bryant. Simple as that.
So we basically agree on that. That's not a problem. The Vikings, Teddy Bridgewater, they're sending him into free agency. It looks like they're sending all of their quarterbacks into free agency, but Teddy Bridgewater, he's going to test the market. Where do you think he will end up or should end up?
I think I was thinking like Denver, of course. I think Denver's a quarterback away to stepping back into being relevant.
And you think that's a good spot for him?
I think so.
Okay.
They need a quarterback.
They do.
You need a quarterback, you know. And I think the last couple of years it's been low expectations on the quarterback. I don't think he'll come in with high, crazy expectations, but I think he'll produce. Like the expectations that they do land on him, I think he can produce if that knee holds up. Because before that knee held up, he was balling. He showed very good promise before that knee got tore up.
Yes, absolutely. So everything in that knee.
Yeah, maybe Buffalo.
Buffalo, that's what I was going to say.
Maybe Buffalo, you know, have him duke it out because as you can see, he did not really invest in Tyrod Taylor like that. You know, they benched him and started him and benched him.
They did everything.
They did everything. So, you know, they're not really sold. Of course, I would love to see him in like a Jets uniform if we could get him for the low because we could draft Baker and get him.
Are you saying we because you're from New York or you're saying we because you're a Jets fan?
I'm more so because I'm from New York, but I do favor the Jets. I do root for the Jets. I'm not gonna sit up here and lie. I root for the Knicks. Yeah, I'm a glutton for punishment.
Absolutely,
I'm a glutton for punishment. You know, so to get there, I don't think we'd have to pay Teddy Bridgewater $100 million.
No,
we wouldn't even have to pay him $50 million. I don't think.
Come on, don't do that. Don't be disrespectful. You don't gotta be that disrespectful.
All right, so as long as we don't gotta give Kirk Cousins $100 million, like we could draft Baker, like draft Baker Mayfield, try to get Teddy Bridgewater for $50-60 million, and you got your two. Like if Teddy go down or Teddy ain't got Baker.
Listen, I look at it like this: Bridgewater basically, he's gonna get the crumbs of whatever's left over. Kirk Cousins is gonna get that first shot, and I feel he may lean towards that Denver spot. I like Bridgewater in Buffalo. You have a good running back with McCoy. You have a stout defense. I just feel that atmosphere will be better than Denver. I don't see him as a Denver quarterback. I don't see it.
They're more like pocket guys in the pocket.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see it. He is way more, but I like because you know they're used to a mobile quarterback back there with a good arm, Tyrod. So I like Buffalo. the Jets. I mean, if you want to end your career, but that's all up to you. You know, it's all up to you. But I do like Buffalo. Buffalo, I feel he should test those waters.
What about Kansas City? Because I think that you think they're just going to draft a quarterback and roll with him.
They might draft a quarterback.
So you don't think that's a potential spot for him?
It could be.
Because I thought about it because like they traded off Alex Smith for some draft picks. So it seems like they was going to just roll the dice and draft a couple.
You'll
guys.
never know what Andy Reid's thinking about.
True.
He's gonna mix it up.
And I think everybody else, like I would like to see him in Oakland, but Oakland paid Derek Carr 2 years ago.
Yeah, they're not getting rid of Derek Carr. He had an off year.
Yeah, so
he's gonna be all right.
So I would see.
And they just got Gruden.
And I think Teddy Bridgewater would be great in Oakland with those guys.
I like Carr, man.
But I'm saying he would be there, but I don't think he's going to.
He wants to start in position though.
That's why I don't think he'll
wants
go to
start.
Oakland. But I would like to see if I had to pick, like this is your Teddy Bridgewater. You get to pick the first pickings. I think Oakland would have been probably the best one, but he won't start at Oakland, so I don't think it's out. What about Miami?
That might be interesting. That might be interesting. Their quarterback situation is a little different now because that would be very interesting. Actually,
they got Jay Cutler was a starter, right?
Yeah, but that's because what's the quarterback's
Tannehill?
name? That he tore his knee up. That's why Jay Cutler came back.
Not Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill, right?
He can't. That's the reason. So I'm just saying that would be a situation, but I don't think he's gonna start there. Chicago would be another point where I think he could end up. Chicago or Buffalo. I like those two, but I like Buffalo better because they have the defense. He will be protected. Understand what I'm saying? On both ends of the field. Chicago is just a mess waiting to happen. It's just like the Jets. A mess. With which mess do you want to be involved in? That's basically what it comes down to. Chicago or the Jets.
The Jets is complete, man.
So my pick is Buffalo. But we have trivia time coming up. After we take these quick messages, pay some bills, listening to topics here on IBNX Radio.
You're listening to IBNX. IBNXradio.com. The station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music. Hey, what's up? It's Jay-Z.
Hey, I'm Mariah Carey. Hey, it's Katy Perry.
It's your boy T.I.P., man. Get in.
It's your boy Sean Kingston.
What's up, y'all? I'm Beyonce. This is Nicki Minaj, and I'm in the mix with
IBNX Radio.
You're listening to topics here on IBNX Radio.
Really quick before we jump into trivia, really because I know Tone is eager to jump into trivia because he's tired of losing.
Listen. First and foremost, you're only as good as your last win. You won last week, but we didn't finish. Don't worry about that. You don't talk about CC. You going back too far. What's the topic?
The topic is, we're going to do NCAA awards because it's almost that time of year. Conference tournament starts. So we got National Player of the Year, National Coach of the Year, and National Freshman of the Year, right? This is my topic. I dominate the topic. I don't really want to dominate the NCAA, so
Listen, that's your thing, and I don't knock it.
So go ahead. I'll let you.
So
Get that out.
for National Player of the Year, I have, and although he's a freshman, we've been talking about him all year, Trae Young. I have Trae Young. He's just been so dominant. It's hard for me not to give it to him. I've had other people I was thinking about, but it's difficult. He's leading in college basketball in points and assists. Still, 29.6 and 10.7 assists, 3.5 rebounds, 1.8 steals per game, and he's shooting 41.3% from three. How can I not give it to him? You're gonna go because you this is what you do. You want to go in. You're gonna go in depth. I understand it. I get it. But let's be real. He deserves it. I mean, go ahead. You shaking your head.
I don't think he deserves it because he's the focal point of their team, and they've taken loss. They've been losing. They lost like 6-7 in a row, which is not like the NBA. If you take him off that team, they're bad. So he makes them competitive.
They're horrible.
But
You take them off the team.
they're still
Don't do
on the
that.
bubble. They're still on the bubble.
They're gonna make the NCAA tournament.
Yes, barely, and they'll probably win one game, maybe depending on who they get, and then they're gone.
It's not about that. It's Player of the Year.
My Player of the Year pick is Devontae Grant.
Okay,
from
and why?
Kansas, because averaging 17 points, 7 assists, 4-year guy, the leader of that team. And he got some guys with him. He got Udoka Azubuike, who's a stud. He got Malik Newman, who's a transfer, who's a bucket. Svi Mikhailuk is the shooter. LeGerald Vick. He got some guys around him, right?
So he
and
has
they
a
go,
team.
but he has a team. What I'm saying is they go as he goes, because no matter what, with all those guys around you, he still has to make the play time in and time out. He he beat Texas Tech by himself last Saturday.
Okay. I take nothing away from that. But he has a team.
Listen. He has a team, right? And what I like about Devontae Graham is also he's been consistent all year. Trae Young's been up and down. In those losses, his numbers weren't as great as his wins. Devontae Graham, win, loss, draw, his numbers is very consistent. And what I like about Devontae Graham also is he's assigned to the best guy on the other team.
Okay, so you like him on both ends of the
On both ends of the court.
I like that.
He guarded
Okay.
the best. He guards Javon Carter from West Virginia. He guarding Trae Young. He's guarding the kid Keenan Evans from Texas Tech. So he's taking on that role as like, you know what?
I like that.
And
And you giving me that point, I like that. Because if you didn't give me that point, I'll still look at you. He has a better team. But no, I like that point. I'm still going to take my pick. I'm still going to take Trae.
As you should. Okay.
And that's a very good pick, good solid pick, very in depth. That's what you do. I get it.
Coach of the year.
Who do you have?
Me? I got Chris Beard from Texas Tech. Chris Beard he's his second year. He kind of goes against the grain. He doesn't go against the grain, but his style is very, you don't see it often. He gets a lot of JUCO kids, and then he tries to win. At Texas Tech in that Big 12 conference, it's tough because you got TCU, you got the University of Texas, also in that league, in that state with you, who you're recruiting against. So, and you're recruiting against Texas A&M technically. So it's hard to get Texas-bound kids. You know, it's hard to get those kids because you haven't been good for years.
Absolutely.
So with them to be a top 10 team for most of the year, and he's probably going to be either a 2-seed or a 3-seed in the NCAA tournament, I think he walks away with it. You know, just because of the turnaround he's had from year 1 to year 2. So Chris Beard is my pick.
I like that. We can go with that. Because I'm sitting here confused, you know. That's a very good pick. It was between him and Ohio State coach.
Right.
So that's
Who's
a
in
very
his
good
first
pick.
year?
Who's his first year? They
There's a
stayed
lot of
relevant.
guys.
They stayed relevant all year.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys. I think what Matt Painter did with that Purdue team was pretty good.
Absolutely.
Them being top 5 for a long time.
For a long time.
For them. And, you know, he got a whole bunch of seniors, so he got guys that are seasoned. So Matt Painter definitely was on it. Jay Wright, y'all talk about Jay Wright and what he did at Villanova. Of course. He's staying relevant. But, yeah, my pick is Chris Beard. And then so who's your freshman? You going to give it to Trae Young also?
Nah. I wanted to, but no. Listen, I wanted to, but I didn't.
Expand your horizons, bro.
So you're trying to say I don't?
Yeah.
Why you say that?
Because you was going to get the boy the trophy.
I was thinking about it, but I looked at the aspects of, you know, I didn't want to just let him run away with everything. So I mean, I had DeAndre Ayton. You know, 19.7 points per game. 11.9 rebounds, 1.7 assists, 1.5 blocks. And I also knew who I knew you were going to go after.
Who did I pick? Who you think I'm going to go after?
Well, it was between Ayton and Bagley.
Okay.
And Bagley's boy. And you put me on them, so I'll give you that. That's a bad man. That's a bad boy, because he ain't a man yet. But Bagley, 21.9. 11.6 rebounds. He's a beast.
30 in 15 games, which is crazy.
Woo! Who do you have?
I got Trae Young. That's freshman of the year.
You do?
I mean, I'm not listening.
Get that man. I like that. I like that. First and foremost, give that man a round of applause.
Listen, I'm tired of your stuff.
I'm just saying.
First and foremost, I'm tired of your stuff.
Listen.
I'm gonna get a boy the freshman of the year because the numbers he put up is crazy. He's still leading the country in points and assists. That's nothing to sneeze, cough, chew at.
Heard you, sis.
You know, that's nothing. That's nothing. That's nothing to sneeze at. You know, the boy is playing. He definitely deserves freshman of the year. Like he said, he made a point. Like, you know what? I'm getting everybody's best shot. I'm number one on Guys Scouting Report, which is the honest to God truth, but you still got to produce, kid. But I think freshman of the year is his. Freshman of the year is his.
Lock.
Freshman
of the year. There you go. So, now let's get to it. Trivia time.
What time is it?
It's trivia time with Tone.
It's showtime.
It's showtime. So, this segment, everybody that's tuning in every week, they know that it's trivia time where me and Chris go at it with our sports knowledge. The twist now is that we describe a player, and the other person has to figure out who it is. We expanded the field from just basketball, NBA players to now it's baseball players, MLB, and football players in the NFL. So, I'm going to let you go first, sir.
Thank you.
Let you go first.
So I'm a 3-time MLB All-Star.
A 3-time MLB All-Star.
Right. 5-time Golden Glove winner.
5-time Golden Glove?
Yep. 3-time Silver Slugger Award.
3-time Silver Slugger.
And I'm a 2-time NL home run and RBI leader.
NL and RBI leader? Mm-hmm. How many times?
Twice.
3 times. No. Golden Glove. 3-time Silver Slugger. 2-time National League.
This one is tough. I'm not gonna lie.
It's tough?
This one is tough.
It's a tough one.
I feel like you're gonna get the rest of the field, so I'm not gonna give you like the position he plays. I feel like that's too easy.
National League. National League is the one that messed me up. Because National League. Is it Mike Trout?
American League, try again, bro.
That's American League, right? And the Angels.
That wasn't even in the same league. Come on, I'm not gonna do that to you.
See, that's what I was trying to figure out. I was like, I know that might be. Listen.
You want to just tap out?
Yeah.
Nolan Arenado.
Hold up. Time out. Time out. Is there a bleep button in the back? Because who? Listen. Who?
Nolan Arenado from the Colorado Rockies?
First and foremost, keep that same energy through the rest of this game. I swear. Listen, you know what? But it is about sports knowledge, so I'm going to look up Nolan Arenado.
You never heard of Nolan
Listen,
Arenado, bro?
just
top 3 third baseman
okay,
in
cool.
the MLB.
Okay,
Probably second or best.
Okay.
He's probably arguably the best third baseman in the MLB. With him and Manny Machado.
Okay. I know Manny.
How you know Manny but don't know him? He puts up better numbers than me.
Oh, I know Manny. All right? I know Manny.
My bad, because you don't watch baseball.
I know Manny, okay? All right.
That's why you need a PlayStation so you can play these games.
Oh, so now I need a PlayStation. I got Xbox. I play Xbox.
Play the show. Don't play just 2K.
I don't play just 2K. I play the show. Listen, don't be disrespectful, okay?
You would have knew who Nolan Arenado was.
All right, so I'm going to need you to understand. I'm going to need you to know all these players too.
I'm not saying it.
Huh?
I'm just saying.
That's how you.
Go ahead.
That's what you're saying.
Go ahead.
Okay.
You said who's Nolan Arenado? Like, I got that wrong. Nolan.
You know what? You want to talk baseball? Let's talk baseball. Since that's what you want to do. Okay. 7th overall pick in the 2006
I don't know
MLB draft.
Draft picks.
No.
Draft like 90. The
Listen.
draft is like a month long.
Listen, I'm just going to throw. This is who I am.
The draft
Made my
like 2 rounds.
MLB debut 2 years later at the age of 20 in 2008. I was the youngest player in the MLB. 7-time All-Star. NL MVP. 3-time National League Cy Young Award winner. Gold Glove in 2011. Triple Crown in 2011 and Cy Young. I was the youngest person since Dwight Gooden. I'm a 3-time National League wins leader, 5 times National League ERA leader, and 3 times NL strikeout leader. And I pitched 1 no-hitter in 2014. Who am I?
Clayton Kershaw?
Woo, that boy. Get that boy. Woo. See how I give him all that? See? I ain't saying Nolan Arenado. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. You going to get this one. 2-time Offensive Player of the Year.
2-time offense. What we in? NBA? Football? 2-time what?
Offensive Player of the Year. 11-time Pro Bowler.
11-time Pro Bowl.
Super Bowl winner and Super Bowl MVP.
Super Bowl winner and Super Bowl MVP.
7-time NFL passing yards leader.
7 times?
And 4-time NFL touchdown leader.
I should know this. This should be easy. And I feel like it's too easy. And 2-time player of the
Offensive player.
Offensive player of the year.
Yes.
11-time Pro Bowler.
Pro Bowl.
How many Super Bowls? 1 Super Bowl?
Mm-hmm.
And what was the rest?
7-time passing yards leader. 4-time touchdown leader.
And he has a Super Bowl MVP. Super Bowl MVP. Super Bowl champ. 11 time.
I feel like that's very descriptive. Like I can't. What else can I?
And he has 1 Super Bowl.
1 Super Bowl.
Drew Brees?
Yes.
Okay. NBA. 2011 first round pick. 30th pick.
Oh God.
He did 1 year in junior college and then his last 3 at university. If you need help, I'll come back to that. 4-time All-Star, All-NBA third team. 3-time NBA All-Defensive team. NBA Most Improved Player, 2015.
Jimmy Butler?
There you go. I ain't even have to say 2016 gold medal.
I wouldn't have got that on that one. All right. 6-time Pro Bowler.
6-time Pro Bowler.
4-time first team All Pro.
4-time what?
First team All Pro.
First team.
2-time NFL receiving yards leader.
How many times?
2 times.
2-time receiving.
And then a 2-time NFL receptions leader.
And 2-time receptions.
That's all I got for you.
6-time Pro Bowler, you said?
Mm-hmm.
6-time Pro Bowler. 4-time first team Pro Bowler.
Mm-hmm.
2 times NFL
Receiving
receiving
and receptions.
and receptions. You said another thing too. 2-time NFL something else.
No, that's it.
You
2-time.
said receiving and reception, but it was something before that.
4-time first team All Pro.
4-time.
First team.
6-time Pro Bowler. He's current. Current right now.
Yeah.
It's funny because the whole studio is looking at me right now because they know I take my time in trying to answer these questions. Okay?
We got enough time.
We got listen. I made sure that we put this right in the right spot where we don't run out of time this time.
Okay. I'm winning right now.
Listen, we're not talking about wins and losses
Yo,
right
get
now.
the answer.
God,
Get the
listen,
answer.
let me stay focused.
Stay focused. I'm sorry.
6-time Pro Bowler. 4-time first team. 2-time NFL receiver. Des Bryant?
Nah.
Who?
Antonio Brown.
AB. Okay. So, 2001 first round, second overall pick.
What?
2001
What sport is this?
basketball.
Oh, thank you.
Selected by the LA Clippers. NBA champion. NBA All-Star. NBA third team. Defensive Player of the Year. NBA All-Defensive first team. 2-time All-Defensive second team. Who am I?
Drafted by the Clippers in 2001. The second pick. NBA champion. NBA All-Star. There's only one or two people I think it is. At the Clippers at the time of 2001. I don't think he won a championship. He was an All-Star? I don't think he was. Am I older?
No, Tyson Chandler. A lot, and I kind of did you dirty. A lot of people don't know that he got drafted by the Clippers.
Completely forgot he got drafted by the Clippers and got traded to the Bulls. So thank you for that.
No problem. Go ahead.
That was whack. We're even. We're even. Because you didn't even let N was traded later on.
Listen,
That was whack. NBA champion,
NBA champ,
4-time NBA All-Star,
4-time All-Star,
2-time NBA first team All Defense,
All Defense,
2 times. 3-time NBA assist leader. 2006 draft first round 21st pick.
2006 first round,
21st pick.
21st pick.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, 3-time assist leader,
Yeah. NBA champion.
NBA. Oh, and he's an NBA champ.
Yeah, I said that. That was the first thing I said.
Oh, you did. NBA champ. NBA champ, 4-time All-Star. Led the league in assists 3 times.
Drafted in 2006.
2006. 2006. 4-time NBA All-Star. Rajon Rondo.
You got it right. So now we tied, right?
We tied. So, is this the last one? Okay.
Nah, I got one.
You got one, right?
I got one more left. You got 2 more left.
Oh, okay. All right. So,
Okay, we on high right. This is I'm supposed to get these right.
hey, don't worry about it. Drafted 3rd overall in the 2004 NFL Draft. 11-time Pro Bowler. First team All-Pro. Second team All-Pro. 2 times NFL receptions leader. 2-time receiving touchdowns leader. 9 seasons with 90-plus receptions. And 5 seasons with 100-plus receptions. And I have the most receptions in a postseason, 30. And the youngest player to reach 7,000 career receiving yards at 26 years old when I did it. Who am I?
I might get this wrong. And I'm okay if I get this wrong. Because in 2004 and all, I wasn't really watching football. So I don't feel bad. So my whole thing is, my thought process, if he's still current, he's got to be older. So he got to be about 14 years in the league. So he's got to be an Iron Man, right? And only premier Iron Man I still think that still plays wide receiver, Steve Smith.
No, because he's retired.
Did he retire? He played. That was
retired.
Sean Jackson.
Larry Fitzgerald.
Larry Fitzgerald. You completely messed that up. Larry Fitzgerald. Good job.
No problem. Go ahead, sir.
Oh, so I'm losing now, right?
Look, I don't talk about wins and losses right now.
No, it's tied. It's tied. 4-time Pro Bowler.
4-time Pro Bowler.
3-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
How many times?
3 times.
3 times Defensive Player of the Year.
4-time First Team All Pro.
4-time First Team All Pro.
2-time NFL Sack Leader.
2-time NFL Sack Leader. That's it? So, 4-time Pro Bowler. 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. 4-time First Team All Pro.
Yes.
2-time NFL Sack Leader. You got another one after this?
Nah.
So this is the last one?
Yeah, we both got to get this right to tie.
How many I got? I got 2, right?
And I got 2.
And you got 2.
Yeah.
So it's 2-2.
Yeah.
So if I get this right, I win.
No, because you still got to ask me last because I went first.
I did. I got another one to ask you?
Yeah. You only did 4.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I got excited. I got excited real quick. 2-time NFL sack leader. 4-time Pro Bowler, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year.
Because he knows who it is. He just being
No.
dramatic.
No.
You're being dramatic.
Can
You hurry up. I'm hungry.
4-time. It was a little too much giggling. All right? Y'all know I take my time. Listen, everybody know that tune in. I take my time, okay? This is what I do.
Yo, if you look at the mic and then look down one more time, I'm going to faint. I'm starving.
J.J. Watt?
J.J. Watt.
My man. So you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Let's
Let's
get
get to
baseball
this.
or something. It's going to be baseball
Huh?
or something. It's going to be like baseball.
Signed in the 1999. All right, let me stop. Made his NFL debut in 2003. Right? 11-time All-Star, MLB. From 2004 to 2007 and 2010 to 2016. World Series champion. 2-time AL MVP. AL MVP batting triple crown. He led the baseball in batting average, home runs, and RBIs. 7-time Silver Slugger Award. 2-time Hank Aaron Award winner. 4-time American League batting champ. 2-time home run leader. 2-time American League RBI leader. Who am I?
He's still current?
Still current.
Do I get a position or no?
Nah.
How about a team?
Nah. But you got 2 minutes, player.
You was real petty this week. You was real petty this week.
Boy. Man, oh, man.
You was real petty this week. So he wasn't a pitcher, right? He made his debut in 2003.
Mm-hmm.
You talking about AL, right?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
I think I'm going to mess this up. I might have lost this week. Miguel Cabrera?
Ain't that about it? We ain't got no beep. Ain't that about it?
I got it right?
Yeah, you got it right.
Woo! I can't be beat, brother.
Yeah. Listen so we tied?
You tell him why you mad.
We tied?
The only thing you hate more than losing is tied with me.
Yeah, I can't stand it. I can't stand it.
For y'all that don't know, Tone really does not like the top.
Listen, and I'll tell you this. The only reason we tied is because he said
Nolan Arenado?
Nolan, yo mama. That's what he said. Listen, it's all right. And we should have a backup question
Just in case.
just in case.
We don't got enough time because you want to think and ponder and read the Bible.
Listen, this is what first and foremost, this is what I do. All right? And listen, I am Tone Taylor. First and foremost, my opinion is just as valid as facts.
I heard you, sis. This is Chris Harris. Appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight. Please don't pay attention to my co-host. He came back from a long trip. He's still tired, obviously.
He said he tired, boss.
Him tired,
You listening
boss.
to Topics here on IBNX Radio.
IBNX Radio.